Hello everyone! Spring is everywhere. As this year we don't have strong COVID restrictions, people are thirsting for something new. Fortunately, we have something to please our viewers. Channel A1 will tell you about the main events of Spring 2021. I'm Maria Rashtuni.
And I'm Zlata Akchurina. Here are the top news stories of the day. Художественный was opened for the visitors after the restoration.
The Tretyakov Gallery presents the main exhibition of spring, Dreams of Freedom, Romanticism in Russia and Germany.
Spring in Gorky Park, what to see and where to walk.
Kaliningrad takes the third place among the most visited city after St. Petersburg and Sochi. What's worth seeing there?
Spring motifs in fashion, what inspires the designers?
What effect does the spring have on people?
The history of spring. How did our ancestors perceive this time of the year?
Top 5 sports news for Spring 2021.
Mass events are possible again. Reportage from the concert of the band Kino.
Well, art first. The oldest cinema in Russia, Художественный, finally opened its doors to all comers after the restoration. Our correspondent Alena Zhuravleva will tell us about its innovations.
In April, Moscow's Художественный cinema, one of the oldest movie theaters in Russia, reopened after 7 years of renovation. The Kartinny Palace survived the Russian Revolution in 1917, World War II, the era of stagnation in the 1970s, and the tumultuous perestroika. Today, the cinema looks the way talented architect Fyodor Shechtel designed it almost 100 years ago.
The main facade is now as close as possible to Shechtel's blueprint. The street-facing windows, which were covered over in the Soviet period, have been restored, along with the color and texture of outer walls.
The interior, however, has changed much more radically. In fact, they were designed from scratch, even though the first layout was maintained so that presently restored, and the interior combines some details of historical decor with the new ones.
The interior decorations, inspired by straight lines and elegant geometry, demonstrate the riches of expensive materials. Mirrors, gilded metal, polished marble, all of this emphasize the majesty of the cinema.
There are white and blue trees, painted by Russian-Georgian artist Georgy Totibadze. The new fountain is in harmony with a stained glass window. It is a system of metal rods, flasks and glass bowls through which water flows. Between them are pots of fresh flowers, convolvulus. The greenhouse is another of Shechtel's ideas, which was destroyed in the Soviet era. The chandeliers were designed especially for the cinema. The largest one is made of crystal and weighs about 1,100 pounds. In cinema halls, even walls have been restored. In the original version, they were simply plastered. Of course, there was no sound insulation. Modern standards of the construction of cinema obliged to cover the walls of the halls with mineral wool, so that the sound do not penetrate outside. Such a material in its outward appearance couldn't be envisaged by Shechtel.
For the first time, Художественный was opened on the 10th of November 1909 and was originally called Art Electro Theatre. The audience waited with bated breath to see the French silent drama Georgette. Among the films that were shown in Художественный were the melodramas Angel of Reconciliation and Mother's Death Wish. The author of War Peace, Leo Tolstoy, visited the cinema in 1909.
Today you won't be able to watch popcorn movies or blockbusters in Художественный cinema, opting for indie films and art house projects instead. On the opening day, Художественный hosted the premiere of Florian Zeller's Father, starring Anthony Hopkins and Olivia Colman. 3 decades after Anthony Hopkins' chilling portrayal of serial killer Hannibal Lecter earned a lead actor Oscar, the role of man fighting dementia brought him his second trophy.
The 83-year-old took an award for his performance on The Father, becoming the oldest actor or actress to win an Oscar, edging out Christopher Plummer's supporting actor win at age 82 in the 2010 film Beginners. Also, Oscar was given to the animated film Soul, directed by Peter Dexter and Dana Murray, Chloe Chow's Nomadland, and Monk, directed by Eric Messerschmidt. Well, it's a good reason to go to the cinema, isn't it? Alena Zhuravleva, Sabrina Abdeli, special for A1 channel.
Thank you, Alena. Now we have a great reason for going to the cinema.
And for lovers of paintings, the Tretyakov Gallery has also prepared a pleasant surprise. Let's plunge into the atmosphere of the new exhibition Dreams of Freedom, Romanticism in Russia and Germany, together with our reporter Liza Korotkova.
Spring 2021 is not similar to Spring 2020. There are plenty of devastating art events in this season. If you haven't yet been to any, consider visiting Dreams of Freedom, Romanticism in Russia and Germany, which is exhibited in the new Tretyakov Gallery from 23rd of April to 8th of August. Specialists call it the main exhibition of spring, the largest international project on the Romanticism in the history of the gallery. Over 300 famous pieces of art can be found here, including those by masters Caspar David Friedrich, Alexander Ivanov, Alexei Venetianov, Karl Blulov, and others. The exhibition combines different styles and genres in one package. The canvases by the famous artists of the 19th century are placed next to the contemporary creations. Not only oil paintings but also sound installations, video art, and photography are presented there. All these works depict the hero of the Romantic era, whose life resembles a labyrinth, which he passes through in search of truth, freedom, and independence. This concept was the reason for making up the unique construction of the exhibition. Daniel Libeskind, a world-famed architect, proposed an original architectural structure. He designed the exposition as a double spiral reflecting two cultures and the idea of elusive search. The viewers are not forced to choose the correct route for exploring the exhibition. There is no correct route. You can find your own way of analyzing the dreams of freedom. Everyone has a chance to get lost and to find the truth in the end.
Thank you very much, Lisa. We highly appreciate your contribution.
Spring is about long walks and outside activities. And where in Moscow can you enjoy perfect weather? Of course, in Gorky Park. What happens there in the warm season? Our correspondent Sabrina Abdeli will tell us right now.
Sunny and warm weather is a great excuse to spend time in the park. Gorky Park is already fully prepared for the summer season. Let's go inside and find out what entertainment can visitors choose in the park today.
Spring cleaning after a harsh winter has been completed. It ended with the traditional turning on of the fountains. Interestingly, there are more than 600 ones open now throughout Moscow. Street verandas of cozy cafes in the park are already open. They are ideal for outdoor dining. A picnic on the grass can also be an excellent solution. You can bring fresh fruits, sandwiches, favorite snacks, and a large blanket with you.
In addition to the usual sports activities, including riding bicycles, roller skating, and electric scooters, new entertainment has appeared here. On the 1st of May, ping-pong tables were set in the park. You can play table tennis in Niskushny Sad and on Fontanna Square.
In the middle of May, the Garage Summer Cinema opens on Art Square in Gorky Park. It is remarkable that there will be exclusive screenings of Russian films and many other interesting happenings. The Garage Screen summer season runs until the end of September.
If you are interested in walking tours, there is a great solution. The mobile audio guide service Easy Travel has developed a series of audio tours around Gorky Park. Russian and English versions are available on the official website of Gorky Park. It is high time to go to the park. I wish you to enjoy your time here. Sabrina Abdeli, Alena Zhuravleva, A1 Channel.
Thank you, Sabrina. I don't know about you, Zlata, but I'm definitely going to visit Gorky Park this weekend.
I will probably join you, Maria. If everything in Moscow has already been viewed, maybe it's time to pay attention to other Russian cities. Travelers should consider Kaliningrad, as it has become one of the hot tourist spots. What attracts tourists to this city so much? Our correspondent Anastasia Denisenko will show.
The sun eventually came out and Russians went on vacation. According to flight aggregators and rental services, Kaliningrad is in the top 3 in terms of the number of tourists. So what is worth seeing in this city?
The cathedral in Kaliningrad is one of the oldest buildings, the real symbol of the city. The history of this place dates back to the 14th century. The cathedral is built of brick and styled in Gothic. Designed as a defensive facility, it was used as a military prison. Nowadays, there is the biggest organ in Russia inside the cathedral. Many famous artists perform on its stage. The huge footprint of history is a burial of renowned German philosopher Immanuel Kant in the backyard. The famous Königsberg Stock Exchange was built in the Italian Neo-Renaissance style, which was not typical for Königsberg. The building is decorated with works by the German sculptor Emil Hundreser, two lions on both sides of the main entrance. Nowadays, the building houses the Kaliningrad Museum of Fine Arts. The fishing village, situated on the banks of the river Pragel, recreates a slice of the city's pre-war fishing quarter, with a series of cafes, restaurants and hotels housed within old German-style architecture and a 31-meter-high lighthouse. Also, the boat sightseeing is available there.
Walking around the main landmarks is not enough to feel the atmosphere of genuine European city. It is better to stroll around the gardens, look at the old German villas and walk along the cobbled streets.
The Marienhof is a district full of private villas in either Art Nouveau or country house style. The Marienhof was partly destroyed during the Second World War, but a large part of the German buildings survived. Amalienau is another garden area. It was located in the west of Königsberg and got its name from a noble estate which previously possessed this territory. You can look at the old villas there too. Anastasia Denisenko, Maria Denisenko, A1 channel.
Anastasia, I think we are jealous. It must be incredible to spend spring in Kaliningrad.
Now everyone can finally forget about coats and jackets and wear beautiful dresses and t-shirts. Speaking about clothes, how is spring reflected in modern fashion? Let's ask our fashion expert Andrew Androsov.
Well, hello everybody. Spring is finally here. Everybody is over the moon because this spring is magnificent and finally available for us. And we have a mission to spend 2020 and 2021 spring in one. I'm here to tell you that last year I kept my eagle eyes trained on my screens at the Spring-Summer 2021 fashion shows. And I have some surprises for you, as well as urgent calls to stand up, go and buy them. Let's begin. The new look bralette. Brace yourselves for spring's most stomach-clenching trend. Bralettes are back with a ferocity that last witnessed in 1998 when Jennifer Lopez paired a cream bra with a butter-hued suit and a cowboy hat. We can repeat such a triumph, why not? Have a look at the suggestion from the Givenchy. It is flirty yet minimalistic in terms of color. Last year it brought an optimistic vibe to catwalks and presentations. So now it's turn of your life and of our lives. Floristics in every shade. For me, it is obvious that spring collections 2021 are inspired by the beauty of flowers and nature. It is one of the lots of things that we couldn't see last spring a year ago due to the COVID-19. So it is time for catching up and sharing this with people around you. Pay attention to this dress released by the Helper. I bet no one can resist. The return of the corset. A body sculpture corset is the idea which rises like the phoenix from ashes. This spring it is here to make your silhouette sink and to emphasize your stunning figure. I guess that these phrases suit this variant from the Alexander McQueen very well. Also, this combination reminds me about heavenly blue irises or maybe hydrangeas. As you see, there are a lot of items fulfilled by spring, by pure and mesmerizing spring. It's a good chance, I guess, to be inspired. So now over to you ladies. Bye bye.
Thank you for your contribution, Andrew.
As we see, spring is an inspiration. It influences our thoughts and health. How? Daria Kanigina will tell us about the effect of spring on people.
Hello everyone! Have you already enjoyed the warm spring days? I'll tell you about how the new season affects our mood and health. We are already thinking about our next vacation or how we are going to get fit again for the summer. The sun is back, the days are longer, and we are trying to enjoy every minute of warm temperature and daylight. First of all, being outdoors in the sun is linked with our mood. The University of Michigan in 2004 found that people who spend at least 30 minutes outside in the pleasant weather had happier moods. You are generally happier when the days are longer. Getting more vitamin D will help you to be more productive at work, perform your tasks better, and experience high energy levels. However, there are some downsides of the nice weather. According to the ENAS study, our capability to memorize things is less effective during spring than during autumn. For the tasks that need working memory, participants' brain functions peaked around the autumn equinox and bottom out around the spring equinox. So, enjoy the sun and warm weather, and good luck in preparing for exams.
Wow, how interesting! Thank you, Daria.
Spring has been glorified since ancient times. Now our history expert Sergei Sokolov will share with us what spring means in different cultures and religions.
I'm sick of endless sunshine, sick of blossom, bud and bough. Give me back the leafless woodlands, where the winds of springtime range. Give me back one day in England, for it's spring in England now. These are the lines from the poem In Springtime, produced by famous British writer Rudyard Kipling. This author spent most of his life traveling to foreign countries, but his heart was always in England, with its unusual and yet wonderful springs. Every nation has its own vision of the springtime. It is formed primarily because of national traditions, holidays, and legends, and the celebrations of spring, as well as attitudes to this season, are rooted deep in old cultures on which some of the modern nations are based. Today I have prepared for you the list of ancient nations which came up with the most interesting ways of celebrating spring and built the cultural code for many people today. Let's begin with the Celts, the people of ancient Europe. They believed, among other deities, in Astra, the goddess of spring, who symbolized the vernal equinox. In those times, Celts used to paint eggs, and the sacred animal of Astra was hare. Does it remind you of anything? Yes, of course. Some attributes of this cult were adopted by the Christians in the holiday called Easter. Some scientists, moreover, even think that the very title Easter originates from the name of goddess Astra. In ancient Greek mythology, Astra's equivalent was Demeter, also the goddess of spring and fertility. According to the myth, her mother, Persephone, persuaded her son-in-law Hades to let Demeter live in the upper world at least half of the year, and this half of the year included spring and summer. The companion of Demeter was god of wine and happiness Dionysus, who taught Greeks to celebrate Dionysus holidays. Then people drank wine, danced, and made fun of each other. Ancient Indians from North America also had their Dionysus, called Kakapeli. As the legends say, this god not only drank, danced, and played on his flute, but also brought children to tribes. But we shouldn't think that pagan rites are harmless and just funny. They often include sacrifices. For example, the Indians of Pauni used to steal and kill girls because they thought it would give them a good harvest. The neighbors of northern Indians, the famous Mayans, who liked to things most of all: the pyramids and the god Kukulkan. This god was usually illustrated as a giant snake with a human head. Among the ruins of the ancient Mayan city of Chichen Itza in Mexico, there is a temple structure, the Pyramid of Kukulkan. On the top of the pyramid was a temple where sacrifices were made to the god. Every year on the vernal equinox, the shadow of the stepped edges of the pyramid falls on the balustrade, and it seems that a snake crawls along the pyramid. But the Mayans, Celts, and ancient Greeks are all the history. These nations and their cults vanished, leaving only some legends to their descendants. In contrast to them, modern Japanese still have the same attitude to springtime as they had hundreds of years ago. Cherry blossom still remains as the symbol of spring for them. And not only for them, I guess. And that is all for today. I wish you to have a good time during this wonderful spring.
Thank you, Sergey, for such a comprehensive report.
And it's my pleasure now to introduce our sport expert Nikita Solzhenko with the latest update.
After the pause caused by the pandemic, the sports world begins to revive again and delight us with bright sporting events. My name is Nikita, and here are the top 3 sporting news of the spring 2021. Number 3. Avangard becoming the winner of the Gagarin Cup. After a brilliant performance in the Continental Hockey League regular championship, Avangard continued to delight its fans in the playoffs. In the final, a hockey club from Omsk faced a real challenge, a series of 6 matches against CSKA Moscow. After all, Avangard proved to be stronger and won the title. Number 2. Zenit finishing on the top of the league for the 3rd time in a row. The football club from St. Petersburg won the Russian Premier League, leaving behind such clubs as Spartak and Lokomotiv. Zenit's captain Artem Dzyuba became the best striker of the tournament, scoring 20 goals. His attacking partner, Iranian footballer Serdar Azmoun, finished 2nd in this race, scoring only 19. And number 1. Russian skaters winning all the medals on the World Figure Skating Championship. This is a real triumph for Russian sports. Our athletes got all the 3 main trophies of the tournament. Alexandra Trusova got the bronze, then Elizaveta Tuktamisheva won the silver medal, and Anna Sherbakova became an absolute winner. Congrats! This is all for now. Let's hope the future will bring us more victories and trophies. Till when, play sports, love sports. Nikita Solzhenko, special for A1 channel.
Thank you, Nikita. We highly appreciate your contribution.
Spring is time to dance and sing out loud. What's new in the music world? I'm happy to introduce our expert Nikita Fetisov with his music reportage.
The big gigs are back. At the end of April, the Moscow government announced the postponement of the lifting of restrictions on mass events. According to officials, the coronavirus statistics do not allow to completely remove all the restrictions. However, citizens can already visit some of the music concerts. We are right here at the CSK Arena, and today there will be the concert of rock group Kino. Yuri Kasparyan, Igor Tikhomirov and Alexander Titov, all these stars are going together on the stage for the first time in 30 years. Что вы ожидаете от сегодняшнего концерта?
Даже не могу сказать, конечно. Последний раз мы были на концерте 20 лет без кино. Конечно, хотелось бы хорошего звучания услышать и что-то новое, какую-нибудь аранжировку увидеть.
Насколько давно вы уже поддерживаете группу Кино, следите за их творчеством?
Ну, наверное, уже лет 20 точно.
Скажите, какую бы песню вы хотели бы сегодня услышать на концерте?
Перемен?
Ну, «Перемен», я думаю, это самая актуальная песня на данный момент. Ладно, спасибо большое. There will be 3 concerts in Moscow on May 14, 15 and 16. Then the musicians plan to hold events in St. Petersburg, Kyiv, Nizhny Novgorod and Riga. Данил Камизерка, Nikita Fetisov, A1 channel.
Finally, we can attend concerts and enjoy live music. Thank you, Nikita. That's all news we have for you today. Follow channel A1 and be the first to learn the news.
Thank you for your company and goodbye.